Let's take, for example, the most famous, wealthiest person on the face of this planet. Put them in front of the spotlight, and then ask a few questions. What was this person's life like growing up? Were they a solid, stand-up person that did everything that they needed to? Or did they really mess up a lot? This is a really interesting question because a lot of people out there that are now highly famous and successful, they struggled a lot when they were younger or, during their upbringing. And what's interesting is that people don't take into consideration the fact that struggling is not a bad thing. That sometimes you need to go through a lot of darkness to come out on the other side as something really fantastic. The fact is, a lot of people look at things as good or bad, right or wrong, things that happen to them, and they have a tendency to want less of these, bad things and more of the good things. It's understandable. I mean, we all operate on this level of, or I should say, most of us operate on this level of good or bad. But we tend to dismiss it as unnecessary. And that is what I want to challenge. I have people all the time coming to me, telling me stories about their lives, about how they have the worst luck in the world, or how this is always happening to them, and it's usually a bad thing. It's usually a really bad thing. They say something along the lines of, just my luck. Why does this always happen to me? Da-da-da-da-da. And aside from the fact that I put together a video on manifestation, which you should definitely go watch after this, what's interesting about what I'm going to talk about is that a lot of people look at life as good or bad. But in my opinion, there's this whole deeper aspect to it. If we have this ability to strip away the label of good or bad and just see it for what it is, we could really make so much more out of it than we are as it is. Prime example, a friend of mine in college, she failed out of a math class. Math can be challenging for a lot of people. Different subjects, different things, we all struggle with something in life. And interestingly enough, she was talking about how this shouldn't have happened, how it's a disgrace that it happened, how these kinds of things always happen to her. And she then proceeded to say, what are my parents going to think? What is my family going to think? What are my friends going to think? These are common thoughts that go through our minds. But what we failed to realize, in my opinion, is that in these instances, we don't take the time to reflect on how these situations have unfolded in the past and what has happened when these situations unfold. See, in my opinion, we shouldn't look at things as good or bad, or, polar opposites. The more we do that, the less we allow ourselves to see deeper meaning. Like, for instance, if you do something that you would think to be wrong, you would put yourself in a position where something could potentially happen. And I was trying to get my friend to see that she may be meant to take the class again, or she may be meant to test out of the class, but she would be placed in a position where something would happen along the lines of her dreams, along the lines of, and I don't mean like sleeping dreams, or it could be that, but more like the kind of dreams like, I have dreams that I wish to manifest in reality. Things in my mind that I really would like to make happen. And stuff like that, if we can tune into more, be more aware of what's happening, rather than trying to shun it out of our lives or push it out of our lives, if we could realize that we're being put in these situations for a reason. I understand a lot of you believe that everything happens for a reason, and that's a beautiful ideology, because the more we can allow ourselves to believe that life happens that way, the more we can strip down these perceptions of good and bad and recognize that the universe is putting these different things in our lives for a reason. The main point is, if you can get yourself out of this loop of getting stuck inside of this mindset that you have the worst luck in the world, or that these bad things are always happening to you, you'll be able to see the deeper meaning, and you'll also be able to see signs that are guiding you towards what it is that you want to manifest. Really take this into consideration. It can definitely change a lot of things in your life. Much love.